Good morning, world. Welcome to another episode of Independently Minded. If you are a new or returning listener, I hope you enjoy this episode. If you're interested in more content, podcasts, and news like this, stay tuned because it's only going to get better from here. On this episode of MMA Minded, I'm going to just discuss and talk about the potential matchup between Conor McGregor and Justin Gaethje. So, according to Ariel Helwani, both teams of management between Justin Gaethje and Conor McGregor are actually in talks and trying to reach an agreement to have a bout around summertime, if my research is correct. And this is something that I'm really excited to hear, and something that I know a lot of MMA fans, casual or hardcore or super fans, are excited about. The reason I'm excited about this mainly is because obviously Conor McGregor's comeback fight against Donald Cerrone was spectacular, but Justin Gaethje will be one of his toughest tests as a martial artist, period. Justin Gaethje is, and I've said it in the past, I've made it very obvious, I'm not a huge Justin Gaethje fan. I'm not a fan of Justin Gaethje as a person, but as a fighter, for me to say he's not a good fighter would be completely delusional. Justin Gaethje pushes a very, very tough pace like Conor McGregor, and he has dynamite in his right hand. His right hand will put anyone to sleep. I think it would put a middleweight to sleep if it was for some reason to fight a middleweight. Justin Gaethje has very superior cardio, one of the best right hands of the division has seen lately, and he's tough. He's very tough. He has a tough chin. I've seen him wobbled many times. I've seen him more so recently. He was wobbled against Michael Johnson, but he made a great comeback and was able to knock out Michael Johnson very viciously. He got wobbled and he got knocked out by Dustin Poirier, and same thing with Eddie Alvarez. But every single one of his wins, I believe, is by knockout, and it's very early, at least in the UFC. He's also a very good wrestler. He comes from a deep college wrestling background, but that all being said, I think Conor McGregor would come out victorious in the end. But with my prediction coming out pretty early, and we don't even know if they're going to fight, I think this will be a contender for Fight of the Year, and it's not even made yet. Second it's made, those tickets are going to be sold out, because that is going to be fireworks. They're going to be fireworks. There's going to be blood, probably going to be broken jaws and noses. It's going to be a great fight. Even someone who isn't a Conor McGregor fan, who is just a Justin Gaethje fan, or just a fan who's getting into MMA, this is a perfect time to get into MMA and just combat sports, period, because boxing is in a very great spot, too. I hope you guys were able to watch that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury rematch. It was spectacular, and it was one for the ages for sure. But getting back to the main topic, just a couple things early on, just some early speculation, because like I said, this match hasn't been officially made. They're just starting the talks. It's the first stage of trying to get a bout signed by both sides. But both fighters, they both push very fast paces in the beginning, particularly the first, second, and maybe even the third rounds. And then going the distance it doesn't happen. For Conor McGregor, it rarely happens, and for Justin Gaethje, his fights have never gone the distance in the UFC, I believe. It's just both fighters, they don't go the distance because both fighters are either getting finished or they're finishing. Both fighters Conor and Justin Gaethje don't have many losses. Conor has 2 in the UFC. Justin has 2 in the UFC. I love the stylistic matchup, but that all being said, I think Conor McGregor's erasing left hand would connect with Gaethje before Gaethje's erasing right hand would connect with Conor. I think Conor McGregor more so has a very long left hand, left straight, and a very good counter left hand. And you saw when he fought Jose Aldo, when he fought Dustin Poirier, when he fought Max Holloway, all fighters tried to come forward, and fighters that come forward, especially fighters like Justin Gaethje, who come in sometimes when they're getting ahead of themselves and they feel they're hitting a rhythm, he'll put his chin up, I've noticed in his fights, and that's just inviting for Conor McGregor to knock him out. And like I've said before, he has a strong chin, but nobody has a strong chin when it comes to Conor McGregor in his prime, focused, hitting you with that straight, square on the jaw. So I do think Conor would be able to connect more and eventually finish Justin Gaethje. I'm not going to make a complete, detailed prediction like round and how it's going to happen, but I do believe even this early, Conor McGregor will beat Justin Gaethje. And if you think about it, Conor McGregor, they would probably fight at 155. I don't think Justin Gaethje would move up to welterweight to fight him. But you never know. Justin Gaethje has been wanting to fight Conor for a long time. He says this fight's personal. He's attacked his character, and there would be bad blood in this fight. It's just Conor McGregor doesn't really feed into that trash talk. I think the only thing he said towards Justin Gaethje was LOL on Twitter, and then when he was interviewed by someone after the Donald Cerrone fight, or maybe it was before, he commented on Justin Gaethje, the fact that Justin Gaethje's taking it personally. He said he's been there before as an inexperienced fighter, but he said he can all get him. They can all get it. So I would love to see this match get made. I think it is going to get made, and Conor's going to win that fight, but it'll be a scary match for me to watch as a Conor McGregor fan, and I'm going to be on my toes the whole entire fight. Every second of every round, I'm going to be on my toes, and I think it's going to be a fantastic matchup, and I'm excited to see more news in the future. And it'll be a very, very, very important matchup for the lightweight division. And going back to why I think Conor would win is because he's up at welterweight as at his last fight. He's just going to be coming down, assuming it's at 155. He's going to be he wouldn't cut too much weight because he said that when he trains, he's usually around 160 or 165, so he's only going to have to cut a little bit of weight. But if you think about it, he's going to be carrying that power that he had from welterweight, because we've all seen his physique. Conor McGregor is looking ripped, he's looking shredded, and he had a lot of power in his shots that he threw at Cowboy. Granted, Cowboy his chin has been weakened over time. He's been knocked out many times, especially recently. But I think Conor McGregor will carry his power from welterweight, and he'll be hitting like a welterweight, possibly even with the strength of a middleweight. And I don't think Justin Gaethje's chin will hold up for that. He leaves his chin too exposed, and Conor's definitely going to. He has high enough fight IQ to take advantage of that. And Gaethje is more of a push forward, always be in your face, suffocating type of guy. And Conor McGregor's dealt with and beat a few of those guys before, guys that have always come forward. Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, you name them. Guys that come forward on Conor get put to sleep, with the exception of Max Holloway. So, and Nate Diaz, he didn't get put to sleep, but he got knocked down 3 times, I believe. But so that's going to wrap up this episode of MMA Minded. If you enjoy hearing my analysis and you enjoy getting the quickest MMA, boxing, any kind of combat sports news, then stay tuned, because it's only going to get better from here. And if you liked the podcast, make sure you like it or share it on whatever platform you listen to, and I appreciate every single listener that I have. Peace out.